Welcome to the Roulette Master TV. Today we're going to be doing further testing of Sonny's incredible new secret roulette system. Sonny's a casino manager in Las Vegas. He's been holding this system back for a long time and only using it for himself. Now he's going to share it with us, and we already did some testing on this one. We're going to do more of it today, and I really want to do a lot of testing before I take this to the casino tonight. So let's go ahead and do it. And this is a $12 bet on second 12. $1 on the other 4 bets. That's a $16 total bet. And this is going to cover every red number to the left of 0 and every black number to the right of 0. But the key to this system is the progression, because we're not going to be doubling after each loss. And let's see how it does. I want to do some more testing of this. And I think you guys should all work on that too, because anytime you take a new system, and we're up $20, anytime you take a new system to the casino, you should have tested it and practiced it a lot beforehand to give you a good idea of what you should expect. And that's a 5 red. And that's one thing I do before I go to the casino. I practice. And I know I hear so many people sending me, and let's repeat that $16 bet. So many people send me emails saying, I took this straight to the casino and lost. Well, remember, I tell you guys to test the system, make sure you like it before you go to the casino. So that's a win there. We're up $24. We're going to stay at base level here, and here we go. So really, really important to let you guys know how much I practice before I go. That way I don't have to think. And there's another $20 win. We're at $44. So let's rebet and spin. And when you have to come up with what you're going to do when you get to the casino, that can be a problem. And that's a 0. We lost that one. So we're just going to repeat that bet. And another $16 bet here. And I try to make sure that I've already have a good idea of what the worst possible scenario could be and what the best possible scenario could be before I get to the table. We're at $48. Let's just rebet and spin. And here we go. All right. That's a 17 black. All right, that's another $20 win. We'll take it. We're up $68. And I just want to test this longer before I play it at the casino tonight, because it's done so well in testing. I want to see if I play it for a while, if anything pops up that I don't like. And we're up $88. Let's just rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 29 black. That's a loss, so we'll just repeat that bet at 16. It takes 2 consecutive losses to double the bet with this system. And let's see what we get here. That's a 25 red. All right, that's a $20 win. We're up $92. We're still at base level. That's fantastic. And here we go again. And let me know down in the comments whether you guys like to play with a live dealer, if you like to play with automated roulette or video roulette or online. Let me know which you like the best. And let's go ahead now and double the bet from 16 to 32. All right, let's see if we get any more losses here or if we get a win. That's a good one, 23 red. We'll take that. $40 win. We're up $116. Let's drop back to where we started at $16, which again is $12 on second 12 and $1 on the other 4 bets. And that's a double 0. And that's a loss. We'll just repeat that bet at $16. And Sonny, if you're watching this, I just booked another, 2 more vacations to Vegas for the late summer and fall. So now I've got 3 trips booked. Can't wait to catch up with you next time we're there. And let's go ahead and spin. So I won't be there for a little while. I'm in the middle of golf season. For those of you that don't know, I'm a PGA golf professional. And our next trip is going to be the end of July, first week of August. And then we're going to be there 3 times in that next 6 weeks after that. So let's just rebet and spin here. So we'll be there the last week of July, first week of August, and then the last week of August, first week of September, and then mid-September we'll be there as well. So that's another loss. So we're going to double the bet to 32 and spin. And here we go. And that's a 9 red. Okay, that's a loss, so we'll just repeat that bet at 32. And actually, the one that's in mid-September is actually a PGA conference, and that's a 32 red. And we lost. Let's go ahead and double the bet again and spin. I'm also planning on coming back for the G2E gaming convention that I went to last year. That's in October. Now we're getting some losses with this one. Let's repeat this one. Let's see how many losses that is in a row. Okay, that's a double zero. That's not good. Okay, so this is why I'm testing this, guys. Now we're at 128. Let's see how many losses we've had in a row. We definitely lost the 5, the 32, the 9, the 2, the 30, the 19. So we've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. Okay, so that's a lot of losses, but it can happen, and that's what you have to be. Using a progression that's not as fast as some of the other ones. That's a nice $160 win there. But you see, we are not in session profit. This is where you have to decide, am I going to go back to $56 and build it back up, or am I going to risk it one more time at $128? And one thing that you can do in this situation, which I'm sure Sonny would say also, is if the bets get really high and you're in profit, but you're not near profit, it's not a bad idea just to drop back to half of what you're betting. So if we're at 128, then I'm going to go ahead and drop back to $64 because I'm going to practice this one today, like I'm going to play it tonight in the casino. And here we go. A lot of times when we're testing the systems in the morning, that is a loss there. So you see that helped us out, because if we had bet big there and lost again, that would have been bad. So let's just repeat that bet again at 64, and then we'll go back up if we lose. That's a 9 red. Okay, so we lost again, and you can see now we're minus 72. We're going to go ahead and double now to 128, but just think if we hadn't cycled down there, we would have lost 128 twice there. And then since we did it the right way, now we got a $160 win, and we're back up $88. So I would recommend going back half the bet again. When I'm testing it later like this, I'm testing it exactly like I'm going to play it at the casino tonight. So let's go ahead and get back to 64 and spin. And that's why it's so good for you guys to practice these systems, because you're going to come up with little things that you like, to add to the systems that might make it safer or make it make more money, whichever is more important to you. We're up $168. Now we're definitely going back to our $16 bet. So the reason I'm doing some of this additional testing also is because a lot of times when I'm doing the systems, as people send them in, I do it exactly the way they say to do it for the entire length of the video, and we're up $188. But there's always things that good players do, and I know Sonny does these things as well. When things go crazy and you get way more losses than what you would normally get, you have to adapt. And I know he would do something similar to what I just did there. But the systems as a whole are kind of laid out with the progression and how much you're betting and the bankroll. But there's a lot more to playing roulette than just that. You have to think through things and try to make the best decision to help your game, so that when you get to the casino, you've practiced it the way you want to. For instance, if we hadn't practiced it this way, and let's go ahead and double here. If we hadn't practiced it this way, you might not know what to do when the bets get high, and then you have to decide what am I going to do? And so we lost there. So let's go ahead and double to 64 now and spin. And let's see if we can get a win here. If not, we'll need to double it up. There's a good win, 13 black. $80 win. We're up $224. We're definitely going back to 16 now and spin. And here we go. All right, let's see what we get here. And that's a 10 black. And that's a loss. Let's go ahead and just repeat that at $16 and spin. And, a lot of 18 number systems double the bet after every loss. This is a 16 number system that only doubles after every 2 losses. So definitely a little safer than doubling with 18 numbers after every loss. We're going to double up after those last 2 losses and spin. And then here we go. Let's see what we get. That's an 11 black. That's a nice $40 win. Now we're up $232. Let's go back to 16. And I'm just going to play this till I'm comfortable that I'm going to use this in the casino tonight. And then I'll know what I'm going to do with it. That's a 13 black. And we're up $252. Let's go ahead and spin again. And again, I was also talking about going to the G2E convention in October again at the Venetian. And I'm definitely going to do that again. I got to talk to all the guys that create the automated machines, the video roulette machines, and you know, all the people that work in the gambling industry. So that was really cool. I'm definitely going to do that again. And the cool thing is, if you could almost act like you work for one of the companies. You don't have to tell them you're just someone that gambles in the casino. If you get in, you can go ahead and just ask those guys any questions you have. And you know, I try to act like I'm interested in buying what they're selling, just so that they tell me more about what's going on. And there's another $40 win. We're up 228. I think it's a good time to go back to 16 and spin. And here we go. So this is the one I'm going to play tonight. This is again why I'm testing it more. And I recommend that you guys test whatever system you're going to use in the casino. At least test it for 30-40 minutes before you go to the casino. And again, it will make you get in the right mindset. And we're going to double up here. And also, you know, the big thing is just knowing what you're going to do, not trying to figure it out at the table. And that's an 18 red. $40 win. We're up 236. Let's go back to 16. And I really appreciate Sonny sharing this one with me. And again, I always love catching up with him. He works at a casino right by Circa, where I stay in Las Vegas. And that's a $20 win. We're up 256. Let's go ahead and spin. I've got a bunch of different trips coming up because some are with family, some are with friends, and then and some of them are for work actually. So like the one in mid-September. So let's spin again here and see what we get. We're going to be, and that one's going to be a little different. We're going to be staying over there at the Rio Seco, over there by where Mike Tyson lives. But we're not actually staying at a casino for that trip, but we're going to be going to the casino a lot. And here we go. That's a 26 black. That's a $40 win. We're up 264. Let's drop back to 16 and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's an 8 black. Okay, that's a loss. We'll just rebet and spin again. And here we go. That's a 25 red. And that's a $20 win. We're up 268. And so far the testing has been pretty good. I've made a few adjustments though for playing it tonight. And again, those adjustments are when the bets get, you know, to about 100 and over $100. If we're not in session profit, I'm cycling those down when I get wins. We're up 288. And again, I'm sure Sonny does the same things. There's a lot of things, you know, you can't go over everything when you're sending in a strategy. Sometimes you have to, you know, good players adapt to what's going on. And I know Sonny does the same thing, but it's all about bankroll management. Let's see what we get here. That's a 31 black. And we lost, so let's double that up to 32. But again, we're just doubling after 2 losses. And when the bets get really high, I'm cycling down when we get a win, of course. And let's see, that's I think that's 2 losses in a row there. Yes, it is. Let's go ahead and double that up to 64 and spin. Let's see if we can hit something, hit one of these numbers, whether it's the, there we go, that's a 15 black. That's one of them right there. $80 win. We're up $304. Let's drop back to 16. And again, if you're up if the bets get high and you get a win and you're not in session profit, cut your bet in half. That's a 5 red. That's a loss. We'll just go ahead and repeat that bet again at $16. And here we go. That's a 9 red. Okay, that's 2 losses in a row. We'll go ahead and double that up and spin. And here we go again. Okay, that's a 25 red. That's a nice $40 win. We're up $312. Let's drop back to 16 and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 23 red. That's a $20 win. We're up $332. Let's spin again. That's a 31 black. Okay, we lost that one. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. Again, if we lose 2 in a row, we'll double. That's a 7 red. Okay, we lost that one, so we'll double up to 32 and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 0. Lost that one. All right, we're up 268. We'll rebet and spin. If we lose this one, we'll double up to 64. That's a 10 black. We lost again. It's time to double up to 64. And again, if we get the bets back up over $100 and we get a win and we're not near session profit, we're going to cut the bets in half. That's a 21 red there, though. So let's see where we're at. We're up $316. We don't need to do that. We can go all the way back to the beginning. So a lot of times it depends, too, whether you win on the first attempt or the second attempt, because obviously you're going to win more money on the first attempt after you increase the bet. And that's a loss on 00. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 2 black. That's 2 losses in a row. Let's double that up. Now we're at a $32 total bet. And let me know down in the comments too if you like high coverage, low coverage, or mid coverage, which means, you know, how many numbers you're covering. That's a nice $40 win. We're up $324. And I think that's pretty good testing on this one. Again, I'm going to be using this one tonight at the casino. Let me know what you guys think. If you've done testing on this one and it's failed, let me know. If you've done testing on this one and it's done great, let me know. And that would be fantastic. So hope you enjoyed this little session I'm doing before I go to the casino to test out Sonny's system. And hope you enjoyed it. And this is the Roulette Master. And have a great day, everybody.